Hello, welcome to Gurukul, and thanks for coming here. We invite you to be part of our Guru Talk Show, which is our weekly series. That's what we are planning. It might happen daily. So as we go by, today we have a very interesting coach to be with us. Her name is Irene. Irene comes from Sicily, Italy. The place where the original pizza came from, and everyone loves pizza. I haven't seen met a soul who does not like pizza. So looking at that interesting part and the very famous Italy, you would like to speak with somebody who is accomplished in a career where her entire life is being dedicated to helping people to come out of their misery, about their discomfort, as well as guiding them to coach in their future life. So instead of talking more about herself, let me hand it over to Irene. Irene will speak about herself, and then we can take it from there. Okay. So again, welcome back to Gurukul, and I would present Irene in front of me. Irene, please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I am Irene and I'm from Sicily, as you wonderfully said. And it's also a place, a wonderful place where, you can smell perfume of the nature and see colors they are special. For example, I learn where we are in Sicily by seeing how nature works between these specific sounds that creates and colors and smells.
Mhm.
So I know if we are in Palermo or Enna or Catania, there are towns of Sicily
Mhm.
only by sensing the
Mhm.
nature.
I see. I see. Beautiful. Yes, I know. And I want to just say that I've been to Sicily only once. Not Sicily, Italy only once as a tourist though. So I never got a time to spend in the countryside of Sicily. I would love to do that when I visit in European tour whenever I plan to. You know. So that's good. Yeah.
And you can find the best restaurants in the countryside where you can find the original food of Italian that it's I can tell you quite fantastic.
Visit. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I have eaten American versions of because I'm in America, so eaten American versions of pizza as well as risotto, and so I'm cheese seven cheese risotto. I love those things. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so technically speaking, I I devoured that kind of Alfredo sauce
Mhm.
along with the pasta. One of my favorite dishes with
Oh,
Alfredo sauce.
wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. So, I didn't tell me about your just want to know professionally, like what certification you have done. What brings you here as a professional coach, and you can start with that, and then I would like to know more about, and rather the viewers would like
Okay.
to know more about you. Yeah.
Well, my first certification was, and I was the first one in Italy to take this certification, was at HeartMath Institute,
Mm-hmm.
California. And it was done because I won a reward, a scholarship from my counselor degree college in
Mm-hmm.
Italy. It was a private college. And because I was one of the most brilliant student at the
Wow.
first year, and so I took this advantage to have this certification, and I wanted to continue it, but sometimes life you know lead you in other places. The next year I was in WBEX.
Uh-huh.
It was an offer for a
Right.
friend, and I took some certification
Uh-huh.
specific from WBEX that are connected with ICF, that is the most important
Right.
international coaching
Federation.
association.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I developed an incredible passion for coaching. And what I liked most was CIQ, conversational intelligence. I wrote the book, and I learned some. tools and style because I have a lot of friends. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take the certification. Then I met
Mhm.
Peter Hawkins and David Clutterbuck, and I became
Wow.
certified in the first step of team coaching.
Yes. Mhm.
And I'm very passionate because it's based on the systemic theory of coaching, and was one of my passion.
Amazing.
The other one is the last one, and takes about 2 years, different years. Was a Neurozone, is neuroscience applied to coaching,
Okay.
and because I observed that many people die for stress and burnout,
Yeah.
and I saw that it's one of the most important cause of death. I say, why I don't help people to, develop a sort of resilience and their own calmness. And I practice with myself. For example, I always practice HeartMath breathing because it takes just a few minutes. And, when I wake up and I feel a little bit confused, I say, wow, this is the moment to practice one of my tools.
True.
Um, and so it made me very passionate because connecting coaching with neuroscience, it's quite having more knowledge and understanding on how our body work, and especially as coach, how can I help more my clients? Because when you see some of the characteristics of stress in your client, you
Mm.
can have a more direct approach
Yeah.
to that specific problem instead of wandering around by not doing precisely what to
True.
do.
True. True.
But you have this specific vision on what is going on with your clients,
Right.
and you can help straight forward into the core of his problem. And that was what my certifications gave me, a more profound way to be able to take care of my client.
Yeah. Yeah. And certification kind of you have a thought as a person, as experience, as a human, but certification kind of gives you a structure on how to use
Yes,
those thoughts about what you get about the client and allow that to channelize for the benefit of your student, I would say.
precisely.
That certification really helps. So again, on Gurukul, we try to stress upon coaches who are of absolutely super quality, but of course they're certified. And we found that all good coaches, they are certified. There's no doubt about it, because they understand the value about the intuitiveness of bringing that inner feeling in the coaching, plus the structure that comes along with the certification that helps them to channelize that intuitionness into benefit of the student. And
Yes.
interacting with the students, interacting with so many coaches, I have felt that one coach would come and say, why do I have to be certified? I know how exactly how to my system works, and so on and so forth, XYZ. Well, good enough, but having certification will give a added quality of seeing through that this is a claim steps for benefit of the student. So
Yes, and also when you are a certified coach, especially that I am an EMCC coach, that is one of the most important association for international certification, as well as ICF.
mhm,
It doesn't guarantee that you are a great coach, but at least that you have somehow an ethics conduct that can help, that can be an assurance for yourself and your client.
true, it's kind of a baseline, it at least provide a
Exactly, exactly.
true, and that's
And also this is important because whenever a coach is outside of the certain borders of ethics, can be reported to this kind of association.
yeah, so that's, thanks a lot for bringing that to light. Yes.
Otherwise, you cannot report a coach, even his conduct is not precisely based on integrity and
Right.
transparency.
True, true, true. And yes, that's good. So, well, thank you so much for bringing up your certification credentials as well as, yes, I know ICF as well as the European Coaching Federation that they basically certify to have a baseline uh, for the coaches, which is great. Mm, let me take you to another paradigm of. I would like to know uh, what motivated you to become a coach. Hmm? So you had the ability, the chance of getting the scholarship as well as getting the initial thrust into the in this field. But there would be some innate motivation inside you. Please go ahead.
I think this motivation came since I was a child because I am highly empath
Uh-huh.
and I had always this tendency of helping people. Well, when I was child, I was even a little bit rude and brutal sometimes when I helped people because I was one of the people that, when I saw bully people, bully guys, bully, disabled or people with some problems of self-esteem or like that, these episodes are normally
True.
underestimate the school. It was one of the people that beat this bully,
Right.
and I say so. To speak with me, not don't with people weaker than you. I was really, really tough girl in that
You're right.
sense. No, I have no tolerance for injustice.
Yes.
Zero.
Yes, 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 and I respect that absolutely, and that's a very one of the quality of a coach, in that sense, you know, yeah. So if you look at what you just highlighted, the stress as well as the self-esteem. Second
Mhm.
one I would like to add is the self-doubt. People have immense amount. I mean, I would say there's no formal statistics, but I would say everyone I have met so far in my life, they have a level of self-doubt, and the self-doubt kind of brings in that, okay, they go 10 steps ahead, then they look back and say, oh, did I do anything wrong, right? Why are you doubting yourself? Just keep going ahead. Things will change, things will move into that positive direction if you're positive. So yes, those elements of coaching really help the person to remove self-doubt, enhance self-esteem, and just have a better quality of life.
Yes.
Mm.
And also the first thing I teach to my clients is to do not judge their feelings.
Wow. Can you elaborate on that? Please go ahead. Yes.
Yes. Many times I see that the origin of suffering is about judging what we feel. Even we feel anger or, you know, this self-doubt and or that many times become sense of guilty. All these things I say. So one of the question I ask is, how do you feel if you don't judge these feelings?
True.
And they, you can see the change in the position of the body language. They so they feel like that. I just feel quite bad.
Yes. Sad, but
And sometimes I ask, can you identify the origin of this judgment, where this
mhm,
judgment come from? And sometimes they speak about that to say, okay, that now that you experience a few moments of well-being by not judging,
yes.
can you use it as exercise to
Yes.
do not judge yourself and all these things? And they feel like, they have the permission to be free.
Be free. Wow.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And so you, technically speaking, you enable them. This is something new I learned, right? So you enable them to say that it is okay to not self-judge yourself, right? So that's
Yes, and to feel what they feel.
to feel what they feel. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
Even anger. I have a client.
Hmm.
That one day he called me and said, I want to destroy everything. I have this anger and I must put out. And I say, okay, do it. Because I know that otherwise this client never give itself. I use the neutral. I don't want to be
Yeah.
specific. The neutral um, to allow itself to experience what is it,
Right.
put out anger,
Mm.
and it was quite a relief.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a pressure cooker. Anger is like inside is a pressure cooker. The more you keep it, the more it's going to gather the stream. I mean, burst out. So it's better to allow it to go diffuse. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, very true. Yeah. Um, then tell me something about any interesting client that you that you have met. Don't have to talk about his name and everything. We don't not interested on that, but certainly his experience or her experience that has brought out some learning within you as well. That, oh, you know what, this is good. I can add it to my feather in a cap. Hmm?
Well, I have one
Uh-huh.
that is a person that I felt was quite better than me.
Okay.
And the first question I asked myself, how can I help this sublime being?
Uh,
It was like, very strange feeling having a person that I felt was so wonderful.
okay.
And what I learned is that we meet the right clients in the right moment
Uh-huh.
to teach us to be better coaches.
Amazing. I saw that you met such an interesting person from whom you really learned something, right? So that's great, Irene. And we find very few people uh, who who are able to impart their knowledge and then make a profound impact on us of that knowledge, right? And we always try to do the same as a coach, that we try to impart our knowledge as well as try to make an impact and difference in somebody's life. But I've seen that not all the students, they have a good intention of coming, but then when they're already in the course or they're already taking the knowledge, they kind of get busy. So I'm sure you must have come across some of them who has been on the exactly diagonally opposite on what you really expect as a student. Can you share something on that part?
Mm, do you mean teachers or
No,
coachee?
the students part. The difficult student, you can say. Somebody who's a difficult student whom you have learned that, oh, but still I need to turn him around. I need to make a difference in his life.
Well, I didn't have anytime this assumption that I can make a difference, obviously, because sometimes
Uh,
there is a mismatch between people. So I can be right person, very right person for someone and very bad for someone else.
true,
But
true.
this one,
Naturally.
this I had a student that really challenged me in every possible way. I was, in the point where I said, I'm going to give up with these people. I was exhausted. It was any kind of proposal I have, any kind of ideas was really challenging in every possible way.
Oh,
So one day I was really going, and I was thinking, I'm going to kill this student. Yes. And well, suddenly I changed completely my perspective, and I say, what if I just listen to this student and let me know if there is a point of juncture or
function.
something,
Exactly. Yes, yes. True.
or where we can meet each other. And this person started to talk about painter. It
Oh,
was the passion that this student has. It was a manager
Uh-huh.
and was really tricky person for me. And since we started to talk about painter,
Okay.
our relationship changed completely.
Okay.
So I understood that the way to speak with this student was about painting and using a metaphor
Okay.
or using symbols
Mhm.
took taken by uh, painting
Wow.
and the art of painting. And it was also a big lesson for me because
Mhm.
you can learn from both sides, as high success and high failures, and or you can change something that you feel that are your huge failures in successes.
True.
You can do it any time when you learn something from things that somehow don't work for you.
Yeah.
And I learned from this person that I was in the beginning of train people or coaching people.
Mhm.
And I say I have to retail my activity on the students' needs and students' capacities.
Yeah.
This is why I love not to have a lot of students.
Mhm.
There are coaches or trainers that like having 20, 30 or 50 or even 1,000 students. I don't like it because I cannot follow each of them in their own uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
And as soon as I learn how human beings work, I learned that if you want to be a good coach, you have to honor this uniqueness
Yes.
and follow the path of your students.
True.
Even can take a little bit more time from you and more energy,
True.
but being at service to me means honor this uniqueness.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Very true. Very true. And I've seen that some of the most difficult situations teaches us beyond our understanding of life. So we are always a learner, right? Like how you learn something from
Yes.
this. Certainly, I know, knowing from people who have been coaching in this coaching industry for a while, there's no one cookie cutter approach that can be used on those 1,000 students or 20 students of that matter, right? Then you are compromising many of the individual approach kind of solution that you provide to your students.
Mhm.
That's very nice. So typically, if you would like to know more about your course, now what you say,
Mm.
your approach, what you bring to the student, what should student be expecting from you, how long the duration is your coaching, and then of course you have a video training as well, which allows you to first get acclimatized with your videos first, right? So please talk something about that.
Well, one of the topic, and I think is the most important, is this very moment because I saw that whatever we experience in our countries, we are experiencing a lot of stress, burnout,
Mhm.
and fatigue, even Zoom fatigue,
Yeah.
so called. People need to really have a time to really create a space for self care
Hmm.
and create their own path for being resilient. And with resilience, I don't mean the current meaning that many used to have is bouncing back when you have problem or you fail or you fall down or fall apart in your life. Exactly not. It's how it's much more like how the surfers surf on the high waves of life,
Right.
because when you see the sea you
Mhm.
can see the complete calmness and high waves, especially if you see the ocean waves. So they are really, and it's like what we experience as human beings at this very moment.
True.
So I thought about how can I do for helping people in gaining this calmness, composure, and the feeling of wellness in this very moment. And I was inspired by the course of Neurazone I did,
Mm-hmm.
and so I took some of their categories
Mm-hmm.
to give to the students the part of knowledge
Okay.
where this knowledge come from, and I had my coaching tools.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we have the first part is exercises, physical exercises. So I can offer to the students different way on
Mm-hmm.
how they can help their body to feel better. And I give some exercise taken from, well, can be dancing or can be qigong practice,
Okay.
the easiest exercises, or some exercises I learned because I also study. I'm not taking certification, but at Strozzi Institute,
I
that
see.
is the top of the somatic coaching,
Okay.
some of the somatic. About nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, a physician in that field, but I can at least uh, help people to understand what nurture the brain and the
Right.
brains.
Right.
So the gut brains, the heart brain, and the brain itself, and which kind of food make them feel focused, concentrate, and also I can teach them how to understand what the body needs, because the body has its own wisdom, and it knows which is the food
Yeah.
that can nurture.
True. True. Very true.
For example, in this period in time that it's very cold,
Mm-hmm.
I love very much eating oranges and all the fruits and foods, especially vegetables with vitamin C and
Absolutely.
vitamin D.
Yes.
And this is the wisdom of the body that said, okay, if you want to boost your immune system, these are the good food for
It's
us.
good food for us. Yes.
And how do you feel it? Like it's an attraction you have
Mm-hmm.
for this
Mm-hmm.
kind of food.
True. True.
And whether you feel it, and I would like to help our students to get in touch with this body wisdom and understand what they need,
Mm-hmm.
and follow and give themselves the permission
I
to
see.
follow their own instinct. Well, there is another part of silencing the mind. For example, how can I be so calm and focused that nothing can disturb my mind, and
Mm-hmm.
this can help me to boost my a lot of qualities, likewise creativity, likewise the capacity of respond instead of react to
Wow.
situations. There is
So you mean to say,
other.
just let me just pick your brain on that part of your what you just said, right? So you just said that silencing your mind really helps to boost your creativity, increase your innate understanding and power about
Mhm.
yourself. Is that what that
Yes,
what your core? Uh-huh.
yes, because when we are in the space of self-chatting, the monkeys in the brain,
Yes, yes, yes.
you are not allowing yourself to listen to the inner voice of your spirit, let's call it like that, your wholeness, or
Mm,
the universe. Choose the terminology that you prefer in that field, and you are not listening the way you are capable to create and contribute to your life and the
mm.
life of people around you.
I see. I see. I
And this is very important even for ourselves. And I have no prejudice, because many times people say, oh, I have difficulties in meditating and having mindfulness practice, and I say, what make you feel calm, serene, focused? And for some people is a walk,
yeah,
for
yeah,
other people is painting, for others is gardening.
yeah.
So the way is giving the general information, the most important information, and also allow the student to find their own way
Oh,
to be in that place when they can experience calmness,
right. Mm.
relaxation, creativity,
Mm.
and well-being, wellness.
Wow, wow, amazing. I I would love to take your course. I tell you, just listening to this part, because I trust.
You're welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody's like in their mind, they're always chattering, 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 chattering. But I never had a chance. Okay, now you shut that up, and then it will take you to the higher plane. I never had that thought in my mind. Amazing. That's a good, super, super duper thought.
And also, you know what is funny? When I speak with you, now that we are talking, I have no thought in my mind. Not at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing.
So the
I,
guarantee to me is that I'm not a person that's talking about
mm,
silence in the mind. I'm living in the silence in the mind. And
yeah.
I have a low activity.
Okay.
So I can be present.
Mm-hmm. That helps. Actually, that helps to listen more, right? And then you
Yes.
can perform better, listen more, then you can respond better. In this amazing. So that's what I think the students should really look forward to. I think that should be one thing that stands out.
You know, my teacher was one that said this is one of the key of true well-being,
True word.
because also
Mm-hmm.
when you are calm and relaxed, you also allow your brain to create more neural patterns
I see.
and to have more oxygen, because also sometimes you calm your breathing, you have a more healthy uh, way of
Oxygen going.
practicing
Yeah.
breathing,
Mm-hmm.
and this can help also immune system. So anything we do
Mm.
to be better and to feel better is helping our whole being. I mean, physical, mental,
Mm.
spiritual, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they are all connected. If you have to be in that zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Really amazing. Uh, I'm sure my Gurukul viewers, they would like to look at your upcoming course, and mind you, this is not the first and the only time we are going to have you on a talk show, right? So we'll have different times where we will have you on a different topic, just focusing on one topic, and then we can talk about it for
Oh,
whatever time you
great.
would like to have. So this is just an introduction in our playlist. As you know, Guru Talk Show is very new, very recent, and we are onboarding one of the best gurus on our Gurukul, so that we can release stress among our world that is going through, enhance people's life. That's what they really look for. In a way, it is a service that we provide, and our gurus are really the fountainhead of knowledge and about service and about help to this stressful world in really progressing towards the higher form of humanity. So that's kind of a objective of our Gurukul as such, and we are very glad to have come across such beautiful coaches and people who are working for us, for supporting us, and as well as building this online platform. So coming back again to Irene, just gave some of the thoughts about what the intention of our Gurukul is. Um, this new life about post COVID, don't want to be very political in the nature, but technically the whole world was shut down for like 3 months, and then now they are waking up. But still, there is a lot of grief around, which somebody has lost their dear one in the house, somebody's lost their job. In fact, you saw the American job market is really stressed out. So people then say that, oh, I have to find my way out, way in, way out. How do I go about doing this? Uh, Share some experience, some thought about that. What do you feel? What's
Well, I have a lot of feelings about that, but you know, I can tell that I have COVID twice.
Yeah, you told me that. Yes, and you are a survivor. You're a
And you
fighter.
see that I'm
Yeah, you're a
perfectly well.
survivor. You're a fighter. Yes, I saw that. You,
Well, I have had an idea that people that unfortunately died were in uh, had different characteristics in different countries, you know, and they are very specific.
true.
So generalized is never a good thing to understand a phenomenon so complex like what happened.
Hmm.
Uh, for example, the more people lost in Italy were people that has had a lot of vaccination before the COVID, and the COVID enhanced. There is a phenomenon called viral interference. So too many virus in the same place. So this created autoimmune response, and this create what's so called the multi-organ deficiency that leads toward death.
Okay, okay.
And in other country, for example, the problem was that reduction, for example, of vitamin D. There are a lot of researchers that said that people get better with the vitamin D.
Hmm.
So I I did practice with my family this kind of you know um, use of vitamins to boost the immune system. We changed our nutrition
Hmm.
because all get in all this place. When you have the immune system
Hmm.
very healthy, no virus can damage you.
Yeah.
And also, I can tell you that my experience was when I end up the second time I had COVID, that was different in amounts of different. The first time I had pneumonia,
Okay.
and I was lying in the bed for a month, and
Hmm.
I didn't get any medicament.
Wow.
It sounds crazy, but I was talking with the virus, and I told the virus, "Okay, we have to live together now. What can we do?"
Oh, wow.
My fortune was that I took some fun medicament just in the initial because I felt my whole skeleton destroyed, completely crashed down, and I say, "Wow, wait, I never experienced this pain in other influenza, you know."
Yes, yes, yes.
And I took this, and maybe there was a good thing I thought to do,
I see. I see.
and but never take something that lower your fever, because fever is itself an antiviral. So
Yes.
you get fever because you need to fight the viruses
Yes.
in your body.
Yes. True.
But also I learned a lot of things because we are plenty of viruses and bacteria in our body and
Yes.
fungi,
Yes. True. True.
and so we have to live with that. And I think, what is the most positive way to live with that? Boost your immune system.
Immune system. Yes. Yes.
The
Makes.
immune system, you go to, there are a lot of great physicians that know a lot of therapies to boost the immune system. I take two of them
I
that
see.
I knew,
I see.
and we are always in control. We even we don't see each other quite often, but I have a call and I say, "Okay, my body is doing this, doing that," and practice exercise
Mm.
close to the sea, because I don't know if you have something in your country and your tradition, but we have in my country and my tradition, and sometimes traditions are good things to relate it
Absolutely.
to.
Yes. Yes.
When
Same.
you have problem, respiratory problem,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go or in a high mountain that
Uh-huh.
there is a lot of oxygen,
Uh-huh.
or close to the sea,
See. Yes.
because people with, for example, tuberculosis,
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of problem in lungs, usually get much better in these places,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
high mountains or the
Yeah.
sea, because these places have something that can help you. And also, the sea is takes a lot of iodine. The
Mm-hmm.
iodine has a good impact if you do not have a problem with hyperthyroidism. That
Thyroidism.
it's a
Yeah.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
but usually um, when you have a good function of hormones,
Mm.
they help your immune system. And why I am so passionate about relaxation and resilience, because when you are stressed or in burnout,
Mm.
the level of the cortisol in your brain is
Yeah.
going higher and
Right.
higher.
Yeah.
And what is the function of cortisol is block the antibodies. So if you have fear,
Yeah.
if you are angry, or
Yeah.
if your brain is destroyed, you can die,
Yes.
not because you have a bad illness, but the cortisol is blocking your antibodies.
Antibodies.
So your body is not working.
True. 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 Yeah. True. Very true. Have you
And
noticed?
I get passionate about this topic.
Have you noticed? We get the saline. We get with the saline we get so many of these amino acids, and we get so many of nitrogen oxide within the saline. That
Mm,
actually boosts your body mechanism within you, right? There's actually
yes,
there is a Nobel laureate. He has done some research on how nitrogen oxide helps your body to increase or rather take the nutrients to your cells, and then how the cells
yes,
can really create those antibodies to fight. So this times really has helped us to go back to the nature, technically speaking, and
uh,
then and
yes,
even our nature earth as such is getting detoxified. Look at Texas right now. In America there is 150 million people are affected just with the winter storm, right? Now, I would say that COVID, no COVID, this winter storm would have come, but the impact would have been much lesser because the earth would have been very warm with the activity that was going on. But looking at the activity that went on for the whole year, the earth was less warm. I think there was less pollution. The earth got more detoxified. The bad smell is to like they get diffused, and moreover we have gone towards cleanliness. So now the earth's atmosphere is being in its own self, trying to detoxify itself in a more speedier form. So in a way,
yes,
it is a positive for everyone, for individuals, for our Mother Earth, and as well as for our nature. Texas, in their lifetime, had never had such a thick snow or a thunderstorm. The whole of the Texas. So you think about it, the how it has changed the dynamics of our Earth itself is in a natural form. You know?
yes, absolutely. I agree with you because I saw that countries less touched were the countries where people are still practicing the high level of connection with the nature,
Yeah.
and their nature as human beings, and also the contact with you know all the entire nature, the animals, the vegetables. They spend times close to the most natural space. And I mean, one of the places less touched was Mongolia, for
Mhm.
example.
Yeah.
And one of the physicians said, well, we still in our specific place, we are practicing the the lifestyle that was taught from Genghis Khan.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay.
So sometimes we underestimate what is more natural. It's because we are now, and now all technological. That is good. It's not bad, but
Yeah.
well,
Keep the
you
umbilical
know,
cord. Keep the
it's
umbilical cord.
priceless having the possibility to spend time in your garden and
Yeah.
get in touch with the trees, with flowers, and if you have animals, even
True.
because there is this also exchange of feelings because animals are, you
They can
know,
feel us. Like especially dogs. They can feel us. You know, the
are
dogs,
also cats.
the cats. Yeah, the dogs and cats. Actually they are much like a stress busters. When you come home, fully stressed in your office life and everything, just having a
Well, you see your pet and you forget everything.
Uh, exactly. I love dogs so much. Yes, I when I grew up there, I had two of them, and yes, I know there are good feelings about them. So very true. Going to the nature. So we are almost like I think 1 hour in our discussion, or half an hour in the discussion. We need to kind of wrap things up. So thank you again. Thank you viewers to be with us. And again, I want to thank Irene to be with us on this talk show. Really help us understand few aspects of our life, and how we can help each other to enhance our society, ourselves, and in a way our humanity as in a large scale. So with that, again, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you in the next talk show. Bye.